Today, political parties are extremely polarizing in the United States, especially in America's youth. How do you take on issues that do not align with your political party?
Yeah, thank you, Brooke, and congratulations on being here. I got to meet Brooke earlier. She's fantastic. Thanks for that question. I believe that, again, the political polarization is the main driver behind what I was mentioning earlier in failed and declining democracies, a republic like ours. And so what this means is it's not just what we believe, but it's how we engage on these beliefs. And it's hard. All of the incentives are lined up against us. If you want attention, you have to be extreme, right? That's how the algorithms work on social media. I know new media is a focus for you, and certainly what we see is that that helps to drive the division. Cable news is a great example of driving the division, right? The louder and more combative you are, the more likely you are to get time on cable news shows, and so that adds to the kind of tearing apart of the fabric of our society. There's another piece of this that I think is so important, and I like to bring it up every chance I get. There's something that experts at Dartmouth and other places refer to as the perception gap. The perception gap isn't the gap between what Republicans and Democrats believe. It's the gap between what Republicans think Democrats believe and what Democrats think most Republicans believe. The reason that this is so dangerous is that if you think the other party is willing to violate democratic norms, so if Republicans believe Democrats don't care about the Constitution, and Democrats believe because of January 6th or whatever that Republicans don't care about the Constitution, that we're much more willing to allow our side to violate democratic norms to put the other side in check. So again, if I think that Democrats don't care about the Constitution, then I'm more willing to violate the Constitution to stop them, right? And what that leads to is this death spiral that we're on, where we keep one-upping each other and who can be the worst. Now, what we find out is that that actually Republicans and Democrats aren't that far apart on most of the major issues. In fact, the latest data that we got last week from Dartmouth showed that it's about 8% of Republicans on one extreme and about 6% of Democrats that are on the other extreme. The problem is that those are the people that get all of the attention, and so every Republican thinks that Democrats are all like AOC, and every Democrat thinks that all Republicans are Marjorie Taylor Greene. Right? That's what we think about each other. And it turns out when you actually ask the question, like, what do you believe? We're not that far apart. But if we think we're far apart, it's really, really dangerous. And so I think there are things that we can do in government to do better about this. And that is, we have processes in place because the founders of our country and the founders of our state understood this dynamic. I love to read the founders, and John Adams always talked about how we are at our core human beings, Americans. At our core, we are ravenous political beasts, and so we have to practice the political virtues of humility, right, and patience. Like, we don't associate humility and patience with politics today. There are very few politicians you could describe who use that, but he knew it was important. So they put in place these structures to make us work together. Right? And so that's why I'm so adamant when it comes to our legislature that we don't bypass those things. Like public hearings are really important. Even if we have the votes to pass what we need to pass, there's a reason we do public hearings. It's so that people have an opportunity to be heard. And sometimes we change our minds when we do that. I think it's more important now than ever to stay true to those rules and to stay true to those democratic institutions, to allow the opposition an opportunity to be heard. An opportunity to voice their passions and their feelings, an opportunity to make their case, and so it's why I sent a letter to the legislature last year, telling them that some of these things we're doing, slipping things that we want done into other bills just so we can get them passed, not having public hearings to give people an opportunity. Those things really matter to me, and I think they matter to all of us, and I think they would really help to depolarize the situation. Sorry, it's a long issue, but it's something I'm so passionate about. I could spend all day just talking about that.